Hello, runners, and welcome to Funny Running Stories, where we mash up running and laughter. I'm Martise Moore, the Run Faster coach, and today Ryan McGrath is joining us.
Hi, Martise.
Thanks for joining us. So, Ryan, how long have you been running, and where are you from?
I've been running for, I guess this is probably the start of my 28th year of running as a sport.
Hmm.
I started running when I was in middle school. My school came up with a program. I'm originally from New Jersey, and I went to school in Maryland. I went to college in Maryland, so I've stayed there since. And so I've been a resident of Baltimore, Maryland for about 16 years now.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, a long time running.
Also, and just in case you guys aren't familiar with Ryan McGrath, you may be more familiar with his arch, his other name, Run Baltimore, on social media.
Yeah, the Twitter account is at Be More Running. The display name might be Run Baltimore, but somebody else had the name Run Baltimore, and she doesn't use it. She doesn't live in Baltimore anymore. I don't know how to get control of it, but on Instagram, it is Run Baltimore. So for purposes of the brand, I'd love to be able to get my hands on the Run Baltimore Twitter handle.
Oh wow. Well, if I run across her, I will be sure to like get her to release it to you. Okay, so tell us your funniest running story.
So, when you've run as long as I have, or any of us have, I'm sure you come up with some fun stories. But I think the one that stands out most for me is having grown up in New Jersey. The New York Marathon was such a huge part of my development as a runner. When I was younger, we would go up and watch it. Take the train in, take a bus in, watch the marathon, and that was really my first. This is what running is all about.
Mhm.
So when I got the chance to run it my first time, I was really excited. I thought I was in really good shape. Had a great first half and had a really, really rough back half, but I had the chance to do it a couple more times. And I guess the last time I did it now was 6 years ago, which is hard to believe that time's gone by. But it was 2014, and I have some friends that work for Under Armour here, and they offered me a bib number. They had a couple extra bibs, and it was
Mhm.
about 3 weeks before the race. I had just wound down my season that included an Ironman and a couple other really big races. I was so tired,
Yeah.
and I said, no, I really appreciate it. I don't, I'm not like really into running the marathon this
Mhm.
fall. And they pressed, and I said, okay, I'll do it. So part of the mission was one of their sponsored athletes, former Ironman triathlete champion Chris McCormick, was going to be running the New York Marathon for the first time, and I was kind of like a handler.
Mhm.
So I had to make sure that he got through through all the security and got to the
Mhm.
place that he needed to be. And it was such a windy day. It was the year that they had to actually change the start for the wheelchair racers to the other side of the Verrazano Bridge. It
Mhm.
was such a windy and just miserable day, and I knew I was just not in shape. So I go out and I start running. He takes off. I run into some friends and I run with them for the first half marathon, and then just everything starts to unravel. My
Uh-oh.
fitness had run out. I was very tired, so I take a little break in the porta potty, and I've never run with my phone before, and I ran with my phone that day because I thought it would be funny to chronicle this day. So I
Mhm.
take a picture from inside the bathroom. Now I'm like almost reduced to a crawl, and I get to mile 20. I was so hungry and so tired, and there's a sweeping left hand turn, and if you went straight into the crowd, I saw a Dunkin' Donuts, and I said I've got to eat. I'm so hungry, I'm dying. So I run straight off the course right into the Dunkin' Donuts. I'm
Mhm.
waiting in line. The people look at me and they're like, are you in the race? I said, oh yeah, I'm running the race, no big deal. And they freaked out like I was in the Olympics, like cut, go in front, go in front. Like clearly I'm not too worried about how fast I'm running in line at a Dunkin' Donuts. So I ordered 2 donuts, I get an iced tea and a bottle of water, and the people at this Dunkin' Donuts were so nice. I think it was in the Bronx, so shout out to the Bronx Dunkin' Donuts. And they they give me the stuff for free. They're like, just take it, just go. So I walk back out onto the course, and now of course I'm not going to jog and eat my donuts. So I'm just strolling on the
Mhm.
side as far to the right as I can. And people thought it was so funny. They're, man, what a great idea. I should stop at a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, well, you can too. So I ate my 2 donuts, drank my water, drank my iced tea, kept going, and then unfortunately you start doing the mental math of how much longer I'm going to be out here if I keep walking. So had to keep going. I got passed by my boss. The CFO of my company was also running it that year, and she was in the second wave. So I was in the first wave, and so she had started 30 minutes behind me,
Wow.
and passed me like right at the end. So kind of a funny day became a more embarrassing day, all in one fell swoop. And
Did she talk trash?
oh, she blew by me, so she didn't even see me. And it wasn't until we got
Oh.
into the shoot afterwards, I said, "Oh, hey, Bonnie, nice job there." And I
Uh-huh.
mean, oh man, what a crushing blow for somebody who's run much faster on that day. It was just not my day, and
Mhm.
came kind of crawling across the finish line.
So are you the reason why Dunkin' Donuts has that new tagline? Isn't it something about like being fast?
Yeah, as a sponsor of Dunkin' Donuts, or a sponsor of the marathon, Dunkin' Donuts is like, I've always known them to be just part of the New York Marathon's legacy. But the little hats that they give out, the little winter beanies,
Mhm.
I've never been able to keep one. They give it to you in the morning in
Mhm.
the kind of hangout area, and I always take one, and then I end up wearing it for 2 or 3 miles and then tossing it. And I've never been able to keep one, but I certainly would not credit myself with being the reason for the slogan. But I mean, something about Dunkin' Donuts just powers people and makes them run faster.
Yeah, I think it's like moving America for or something like that, right? Like I don't know. I always thought that was kind of ironic that that was their slogan. I can't remember exactly what it is, but anyway, well, awesome. That's great. So like, did everybody in your office like make fun of you afterwards, or?
I don't think the people I worked with back then certainly didn't care, didn't really
Oh,
know, they weren't big runners.
okay.
My did my running friends make fun of me for how
Uh-huh.
slow I ran?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think they were more impressed that I like live tweeted my day, where I
Wow.
was, what I was feeling,
Uh-huh.
like, oh boy, mile 21, having a
Yeah.
rough time. And
That's
for
dedication.
yeah, yeah. So I would just, and I was doing that while I was running. So I had the phone out, and I was, just kind of tweeting along, took some pictures. So I think people thought that was pretty amusing.
Yeah, and that's why I follow you on Twitter because your stuff's pretty amusing. So what's your running life like now?
Well, this year, my initial plans for 2020 had been, I had a couple of races that I had signed up for. It became pretty evident that they weren't going to happen, so I shifted a lot of my training plan. Most of what I was doing in the summer was riding. I do tend to do more triathlon side training than just running. So I rode a ton of miles over the summer, and then I got to a point in September where I said, I'm not feeling great running. I'd like to be running a little better. And
Hmm.
so I put out a challenge. We called it the Drop a Deuce Challenge for the month of September. So the whole point was for each of the days in September, you dropped a deuce. So run 2 mile minimum, and
Oh,
I made it through 30 days of at least 2 miles a day. And then one of my friends, she and I have kept going. So we have a little run streak going.
hmm.
Our goal is to get to the end of December. So I've run every day since September 1st.
Oh wow.
Next up, I mean, hard to say at this point. It's not easy to see even to the next couple months of what races might look like. But next year I turn 40, and my plan was to race in the new age group, in Ironman triathlon, a couple
Hmm.
other races, and maybe get into Berlin marathon for next year.
Nice, nice. So does it actually become harder in your new age group? Because 40 is kind of like a peak.
Yeah, it's it's really interesting. Ironman and triathlon in general shifted so much over the years. When I first started racing it, I was in the 25 to 29 age
Hmm.
group, and what you saw was the fastest runners, the
Hmm.
fastest, maybe swimmers, maybe not the fastest overall bike cyclists, but you'd have some really fast people, but it was such a small age group
Hmm.
relative. It's an expensive sport, and I think you just didn't see that many people
Yeah.
racing it. Then you get to 30 to 34 was super fast, very competitive. You're still kind of on the up.
Yeah.
35, 39 is where you start to notice maybe some of the run times slow down a little bit, but the bike
Okay.
times get faster. And then at 40, I've always felt like 40 to 44, it's a huge field. So the field is usually just much larger.
Hmm.
And, that's like, you always want to race as the youngest person in the age group again. So
Right.
I'm excited to race as 40 against maybe 44-year-olds versus being on the old end of the age group.
Hmm. All right. Well, good luck to you. And
Thank you so
we're
much.
looking forward to hearing all about it on Be More Running. Is that
Be more running. Yeah.
okay?
Like be more running, all one word.
Okay, yeah, because I only know you as Run Baltimore. Okay, so we'll be on the lookout for that. And thank you so much for sharing your funny donut story. That's pretty funny. And we'll be following you and running alongside you virtually and laughing. So thanks so much, Ryan. We'll see you
Thank
later.
you. Loved it.
Bye.
Bye.